right now it's time to get you the news, Kid Nation. Now, before I do the intro, I want to remind you that Big Al Matt called me Bridget yesterday, so just take that into consideration as I do the intro. Welcome to another Kidcratic Morning Show newscast with Kelly Raspberry, Dr. Girlfriend's ex-boyfriend, Ana Castillejos, Nick Adams, Trey Peart, and part-time Justin.
That could have been worse.
It could have been worse. Thank you, Trey. I'm Jose Roberto Angeles Catam Lopez Chavez de Perez.
Wow.
And we kick off this broadcast to take a look at what's happening in Nick Adams' home.
As I continue to turn into a lazy slob, I decided to try and give that robe a try that's been hanging in my closet for several years. I don't really get what all the hype is about. I had to keep retying the belt and wrangling the robe back in place. My biggest complaint about the robe is that it is nearly impossible to sit down on the toilet while wearing a robe. I thought I had it all bunched up in my hand, but a little bit dipped into the toilet. Turning now to the latest in hygiene news, I took a shower for the first time in 3 days. Afterwards, I smelled something strange, and then I realized that's what a clean human smells like. And finally, I found an empty park 20 minutes away from home to take my kids on our daily picnic. Why 20 minutes away? Because it takes up a lot of time. And after I laid out the blankets and got the kids out of their car seats, I realized I had forgotten our lunches. So I drove 20 minutes back home, got our lunches, 20 minutes back to the park, ate, and 20 minutes back home.
All right.
I was actually pretty proud of myself that I found something for my kids to do for 2 hours that was not in front of the TV.
There you go.
That's all for now. Back to you, Chester.
Nicely done, Nick Adams. Chester, that's a good one. All right, Kelly Raspberry, what's happening in your neck of the woods?
Well, thank you, JC. This is Kelly Raspberry Evans coming to you live from Evans Manor, Quarantine Day 29. I took a picture of my dog's anus. More on that later, but first, among the highlights from Evans Manor.
Save that.
We opened not one, but 2 links to videos texted to our phones. Trusting the sources, we threw caution to the wind, opened them, and on my phone, a video of a family dry heaving as dad attempted the hashtag Stinky Fish Challenge. Not on my phone, video footage of an odd man in an extreme state of undress doing a move my husband explained to me is referred to as the helicopter.
Oh, yes.
I encouraged my husband to block that sender. In a continuing effort to keep myself busy, I put away my winter wardrobe to pull out the spring. And during this process, I had to listen to nonstop licking coming from our family pet, Larry. Upon inspection, I discovered Larry had licked a certain part of his body to the point of rawness. In a state of extreme distress, I called the vet where I had just taken Larry for an allergy shot last week, and to my dismay, met with a recorded message informing me this location had shuttered its doors that very day due to coronavirus concerns. I was instructed to find another vet or reach out to their online vet chat. 10 minutes later, I was in a text message exchange involving a request to aim my cell phone at my dog's anus for a very intimate photo. I could not look Larry in the eyes after that.
It's time for a KiddNation investigation.
Oh.
It seems not everyone in KiddNation is social distancing.
What?
Some unscrupulous scoundrels threw caution to the wind yesterday by playing shuffleboard here at the office. One eagle-eyed investigator noticed that the red and blue pucks had been moved from the day before, turning them into a sanctuary of deadly pathogens. Was it aliens? A break-in? Or possible murder for hire? The investigation could last decades. We'll start with executive producer White Cheddar.
Yeah, that was me. I just threw a couple down there as I was walking by.
And there you have it. There was the case solved by a KiddNation investigation. Back to you, Wanda.
And now in traffic news, there was a single bike accident on our street. Kinsey and Kaysen Chavez decided to go for a walk. Kinsey was on foot with 2 dogs and Kaysen on his bike. Witnesses say that Kaysen lost control of his bike and took a nice spill. He scraped both knees, both hands, his elbow, and has a left side of his torso all scraped up. He also suffered a sprained left wrist. When interviewed, he said he hit his head, but claims he feels, quote, good. After his accident, he gives all the glory to wearing a helmet. He also said he's glad he didn't break anything because he would not be able to play Fortnite, and that would be, quote, the worst thing ever. He's at home and expected to make a full recovery.